Greetings everyone, welcome to this new video. We're gonna take a look at the PC version versus the PlayStation 4 version of Path of Exile. Both versions have been out for quite a while now, so I think it's fair to make a pros and cons list on both the versions of this game. And my ultimate goal is for you to have an understanding on which product you want to choose for your specific playthrough of this game, because both have pros and cons that might be making it or breaking it for your specific experience of Path of Exile. So hopefully this will clarify all of that. So without further ado, let's just jump into the pros and cons list. So I'm gonna start with a pros list when it comes to the PC version and go from there. I might not mention some of these points, or I might be doubling up on some of these points because they kind of bleed into each other, and they will maybe come in a later stage of this presentation. So a huge pro for the PC version is definitely the huge player base. What does it mean to have a huge player base? Well, it basically means that you can go on with the league for a longer time. That means there's people around to trade with, there's people to make groups with, there's people that can actually help you when you get stuck on some things, and there's always some services out there if you're willing to pay for them. And I think later in the leagues, when they've been going on for a little while, people tend to just migrate out of the game and just play some other games. And if you already have a huge player base, which the PC version has, then it does not matter, because there's still people around, enough people around to make the whole wheel go round. And the PlayStation version might not have the same kind of impact here. It might be because it's new and people still need to get used to the PlayStation 4 version, and they're slowly maybe migrating, but I don't think that is the case here, but I might be wrong. So UI was definitely made for the PC version, and anything they strap on the PlayStation version or the Xbox version is just gonna be a copy of something that was tailor-made for the PC. And it really shows that they have tried to change it around and make it more impactful, but I mean, obviously this is a UI on the PC version that's been in constant development for years, instead of just instantly created for a product that is came over a little short time. So I think they still have a lot to do on the PS4 version, but on the PC one I think it's very well optimized and everything is easy to find. Add-on support is my next point here on the pros list for PC, and it is amazing what some third-party softwares have been made here, and they're allowed on the software also, which is great from GGG side. I mean, they could combat it and they say like no add-ons, but I don't think they have done so, and I think these are used by the majority of the players on the PC version. And there's some good ones, like instantly see if the unique you picked up is valuable, and you have things like Mercury Trade, which makes you do trades instantly. You can keep track of whispers and stuff like that. And I think these is huge quality of life that the PS4 version simply don't have. And it kind of slows down the whole gameplay to a point where it's just, I think, okay, you can slow down the gameplay, but at the same time, if you slow it down for the just sake of just doing really stupid mundane tasks, then it's just not fun anymore. So I really love my add-ons on this game, and if you don't have them, you should really look out for them add-ons, the macros that are actually allowed to be used in this game. And there's plenty of YouTube videos on that. Path of Exile on PC has a great community. You can write anything in the general chat and they will answer you directly. They will whisper you and give you the help you need. If they don't understand it, they will probably write the question, follow-up question, and so on. And I don't think that many games have that kind of community around it, because like Dota 2 or something like that, for example, just have a toxic kind of thing. If you write anything there, they will taunt you. Here, the people are more than willing to actually be grown-ups and actually come together and then solve your problem for you. That is not very prominent in the PS4 version, basically because it takes forever to type anything in PS4, I guess. But it's the same players. I think if you take the time, maybe people will answer there also. Next one is trading. Trading is such an integral part to Path of Exile, and yeah, you're gonna see on the cons list, it's the big point on my cons list on PS4, but I will not go into that one right now. You have to wait for the later stage of this, because trading has been streamlined also in this game, and GGG has their own trading site, which I personally use because I find it better than the other one, third-party software. It's still a good trading site, the other one, don't get me wrong, but I think the way they have set up trade is the best way they can, because I've seen how trading can be completely ruined by an auction house like in Diablo 3. If any one of you have seen how it just spiraled out of control when they put in auction house and real money auction house and stuff like that. I do not want that. I'd rather have this tedious bit when you actually whisper people and then you have to whisper a few. Maybe they can put in improved trading for maps and currency in the future, but items, they need to stay the way they are. And I think trading is a big part of being social in this game also. Just going around there, maybe haggling a little bit, and people seem fine with it. I mean, they can say no, maybe, can we go back and forth on this. So that was the pros list on. There's so many more pros on PC version though, but I'm just shortening it down so the video is not like 30-minute long. Let's go on with the pros when it comes to the PlayStation 4 version of this game. When it comes to that one, it's definitely cheaper to buy the product, which means that you only need the specific PlayStation or PlayStation Pro. I personally play it on the PlayStation Pro and it's been running fairly smooth. I mean, it updates by itself and it's maintaining itself and stuff like that. So if you want an easy time to installing the game and stuff like that, and you don't want to worry about patches, you don't want to worry about installing it the right way, or if your hardware would actually manage to play this game or something like that, or errors or anything like that, then you definitely want to play it on the PlayStation 4, because I've yet to have any problems with like unexpected shutdowns and stuff like that. Another pro is it's much more relaxing to play it on the PlayStation 4 in my opinion, because when you're playing on the PlayStation 4 you have your controller in your hand and you can sit wherever you want. When you're playing the PC version, you're kind of stuck in front of your computer, yeah, because you need a keyboard and a mouse. But with the controller, I can basically sit in my sofa, I can sit on the floor, I can even lie down in bed and play it, which makes it a much more relaxing kind of thing you can take after work or when you come home and you just want to sit down for an hour and relax in front of it, which means it's much faster to get into and a much more relaxing manner when it comes to all of this. For our con list, we're gonna start with a PC version, and the first one point here is the setup for the PC, because you're gonna need a decent kind of computer to run Path of Exile. Not too much, but there's still a bunch of parts that you're gonna need in your computer that is up to par. You're gonna need a keyboard, you're gonna need a mouse, and you're gonna need a screen and all the jazz that comes around this kind of thing. And you're gonna need to install, you're gonna need all the software that comes with it, all the latest DirectX or anything, drivers and everything. And there's a lot of things that can go wrong when it comes to a PC version of this, because I mean, you can read on the forums that people can't even run the game even though they have a $1,000 kind of rig, and it comes down to a small little file that was not in the right place, or some kind of driver that was not installed the correct way or something like that. And these are people that are pretty used, by the sound of it, with PC gaming in general. So obviously This is only a con in certain situations where you are just shit out of luck and this just happens. And the PS4 version, you don't encounter these kind of problems because it's basically just sit there, click install, and then you can play the game directly. Second is a small little point that I just brought up because I put it as a con on the PS4 version. It's the relaxing part. So because you're just gonna sit in front of the computer and you're gonna need a really good gaming chair, because you're gonna sit there for a lot of hours and you're gonna have back pains of just sitting in this specific position. While the PS4 version, you can sit wherever you want. You can even lie down and play. And because you have a mouse and keyboard when it comes to PC, you're gonna be kind of relegated to a table when you're sitting and play this. You can buy a lap board and stuff like that, but honestly, you're gonna play most of your time in front of the computer, and it's gonna hurt after a while. If you not have a real gaming setup, it's definitely gonna hurt your back, shoulders, hand, and all those kind of things. I personally have set up everything with support for all these different parts, so I'm personally not that affected by this. So it's a small thing, but yet something I want to bring up. And now for the big one. We're gonna talk about the cons list on the PS4 version. There's a bunch of points here that I want to bring up because there's a lot of development that needs to still be doing on the PS4 versions. So the first one is it's just a set amount of buttons on the controller, which they cannot change, but the key binds are just don't feel right when you're playing it. Every time, I've been playing this for a lot of hours now, and I still need to sit there and know where I need to click, and then I need to look at the menu, like which one does do this with, and then you have to click through. And there's so many steps in Path of Exile which you actually need to click through so many menus, and it's just not optimized for PS4 version at all when it comes to this. I don't know how they can fix it, or if they can make the menus more streamlined or something like that, but it's a huge negative. It might not even be able to fix it, which means that PC version is just better on this point at all, because there's so many buttons involved in Path of Exile. Next one is it's gonna restricting what kind of builds you can play in this. What I mean by this is that anything that is targeted, you need to target something especially on one spot. So I played, for example, with totems, which means that it's really hard to it's impossible to get the totems exactly where you want them, because you cannot target it. It will just go in the direction you're pointing your character. So it might be close, it might be far away. I can't figure out how to make them exactly at the spot. So basically you need to back up in a wall and then just throw down your totems, because then you know the wall is going to restrict where the totems go. So that means you're not going to be able to play a huge range of different characters. So bow builds might be doable, but something like traps might be hard to play, and definitely more like interstellar is definitely going to be a hard thing to actually do. I've written trading here with capital letters as my third point, and trading, it's just cancer. It's just cancer in this game when it comes to the PS4 version, because it's so bad. It's so convoluted. You have to search in the. You have just to experience it. I cannot tell you more. It's so bad, and people have made multiple videos on how bad the trading is on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox version. So basically, what you do is you search on the item. If you don't search, then you just need to manually go through every single item. You cannot put in any criteria as how much life you want or anything like that. And then you have to do the same shenanigans that you do on the PS version on top of this, which takes 10 times longer, because typing is just cancer also in PS4. So yeah, definitely a huge con, and this is breaking the game for me, honestly. So that's why I'm playing solo self-found most of it. communicating with others, because it takes so much time on typing in Exile, because you need to go on this keyboard and then you have to find the letter, find the letter, and it's just I mean, if you want to write a sentence, it's gonna take you a good 2 minutes or something like that. I don't see how it's gonna go any faster. It's not like your smartphone where you can just type in, and you actually need to physically move the cursor over there. So I guess you can plug in your keyboard, but then you might as well play it on the PC. There's much more lag on the PS4 version, I perceive, and other people have been talking about this also. And there's a rubber banding when you're running to one place and all of a sudden you get teleported back. So it's like a rubber band effect. You get rubber band back to a position where previously. So actually the server did not register that you got stuck somewhere in a wall or something like that, and you get just dragged back. And it's just certain times, and the lag is so bad. And I know this happens on PC also, but rubber banding, I've not experienced that really on the PC version. And rubber banding is the worst because it takes so much time of your game, and you die often when you're on the higher levels when this rubber band effect goes, because you're getting hit during this time by enemies. So a big negative right there also. Next one is picking up items. Picking up items on PS is so tedious, because even if you have a loot filter, which is also installed in to the PS4 version, mad props to GG to do that at least. When you pick up items, it's hard to target. You just have to scroll through every single item and pick up the ones you want. And I wish you can make your own loot filters, because even with that one you have here, I want to still sort out some other items, because it takes so much time. So imagine if you're killing a big pack of monsters and there's things everywhere. Also, if you're standing on the items, it might be so many items there that the actual icon is so far away, and you're not going to be able to pick up those items without picking up all the other ones. So that is very tedious also, and that needs a serious fix. And everything in this game, and this is also a huge point, everything takes so long. From everything going through the UI, the loading screens also. I don't know why the loading screen on my PS4 Pro, which should be pretty fast on this, takes so much longer, like 10 times longer to go through than on the PC version. And crafting items, everything just takes so much longer. I'm talking about 5 times longer at least than on the PC version. Just going into town after doing a map and do the selling and just putting things in your stash and stuff like that, it's just taking forever. And also a big point here is that your things from your PC version is not transferred over to the PlayStation 4. And what I mean by this, all the microtransactions you've been doing, all the stash tabs and stuff like that, I know that GG want to make money, and I know they got bought up by these Chinese companies that are famous for doing the whole pay-to-win thing. But please, for the love of God, all the money I put into your game, why are you making me buy it all anew when I'm using your same freaking product? That is out of this world. And that is honestly, I'm not spent any money on that on the PS4 version. I simply will not, because I've already spent probably, I don't know, a lot of dollars. I will not say a number here because I don't know how much it is. So there we have it. We have all our pros and cons for both the PC version and the PlayStation 4 version. I personally gonna continue playing the PC version because it's much more superior in my humble opinion, but you can choose whatever you want from this list or from your own opinions. Thank you so much for watching. Please put a like and subscribe to my channel. It helps me a lot, and I see you in the future or in the comments. Have a good day.